under the definition of information, it is specifically mentioned that opinions form part of information. You know government office procedures. When this act came into existence in June 2005, in November 2005, there was a press release, and even on the website of DOPT, Department of Personnel and Training of Government of India, it was said that 5 notings are excluded from this act. 5 notings are not covered under this act. It was the official position taken by Government of India. The debate was that what is meant by opinions. In such a exhaustive list, if 5 notings are not included, it means lawmakers don't want to include 5 notings. It was the argument. The another argument was that opinions means 5 notings. Because what are 5 notings? 5 notings means opinions expressed by the officers or concerned persons regarding that particular subject. Those are recorded in file, and those are called as 5 notings. So 5 notings are not different than opinions. So 5 notings are covered. So Government of India agreed to that, and in February 2006, clarification was issued that 5 notings will be covered under definition of information. So that opinions, that word is very important. Another important word is samples. Information includes samples. What does it mean? Sample of anything. You can go to the work of overbridge in Pune and ask them, I want sample of building material, sample of brick, sample of tar, sample of grain in the ration shop, sample of anything. It's a great achievement of this act. It has included samples in the definition of information. It's a great thing. Otherwise, only papers and government reports. That information may be collected by citizens, which is of no use. But if a citizen can take sample, then he will be able to prove if something is wrong. Otherwise, it was not possible.
It is again 2 procedures.
Yeah.
Samples are not taken.
Yeah, procedure is that I will explain. Now we are concentrating on the definition of information. So samples, models. You can ask for model of a dam to be constructed. What is backwater area? I want a model. It will be provided under this act. So inclusion of samples and models in the definition of information and inclusion of opinions, it is an achievement of the act, and that is there. Then next sentence, most important, also includes information, also includes information relating to any private body which can be accessed by a public. Any private body, NGO, private company, partnership, small shop, roadside shop, any private. The act says any. The nature of act and coverage of act is very broad. It is not meant only for government departments. It is expected that overall improvement in governance. Governance does not mean only governance through government or departments. So, information of any private body which is accessible by public authority. Public authority is also defined. What is public authority? Public authority, of course, government departments are included. Then those non-government organizations, entities, which are getting substantial financial funding by government, directly or indirectly. This is the definition of public authority. And such public authority, if it can access any information under any existing law or rule, if it can access any information of any private body, it is included in the definition of information under this act. It means that is covered under the act, and any citizen, any Indian citizen can access that information. I will tell you two examples. First is, what is public authority? Take the case of Reliance. Any doubt that Reliance is a private company? It is not government company, it is not department, it should not be public authority ordinarily. But a plant of Reliance located in Gujarat near Dwarka, it is on a huge piece of land of 100 hectares. Those 100 hectares land, it is given on lease by Gujarat government for ₹1 per annum of lease amount. This is financial assistance given by government indirectly to an organization. So that plant of Reliance will be covered under this act, and it will act as public authority, though it is a private. See the coverage of the act. Okay. Then second example of trust. Suppose there is one private trust, family trust. No government funding is there. No piece of land granted by government. Nothing. Just private affair within four walls. Okay. And there is some information which a citizen wants from that trust. What will happen? The citizen will have to go to charity commissioner where the trust is registered. And if charity commissioner has an access to particular information of that trust, that information will become accessible by the citizen. He will also get that information, though it's a private trust. Very wide coverage.
In case of private shops,
Whatever information of private shop is available with registering authority or any public authority. If information of that private shop is with municipality, local body, then it will be accessible for that information, part of information. If any information is accessible by the public authority under any law or under any rule, though it is not available with public authority, it is available with only that private party, then also it can be demanded to that public authority, and that public authority will obtain that information and it will be given.
in case of multinational companies,
Whatever information of multinational company is available and accessible to public authority, it will be covered under this act. Definition is very clear, very wide. I can talk on this point only for coming 2 hours. But let us go to next provision. So we will talk about all this.
Sir, what will happen to those departments like most confidential?
Then public authority I have explained. Then third is very important. Right to information includes inspection of work, inspection of documents, records, taking notes, extracts, certified samples of work. Inspection of revolution. It's a revolution. Right to information includes inspection of work, any work of public authority. maybe construction work, maybe processing work, maybe production work, anything. That work can be inspected under this act. Then you can inspect records, you can inspect papers, you can take certified samples. Very wide coverage. Otherwise, remember those record rooms of government departments where no access is available for ordinary citizens. Now, an ordinary citizen can go to that record room and inspect the record under this. I want to inspect the record, just to inspect. I want to see the construction work of the dam. I want to see road construction. I want to see how water supply mechanism is working. Just inspection. You apply this to any sphere of life, any sector. It may be urban governance or rural governance. If it's a public authority, then any private body will have to allow you to inspect it. So, inspection of documents, just inspection, not copies. Copies are allowed after application, but just inspection is also. It's a great thing actually. You can inspect files in the office of Tehsildar or subdivisional officer or collector or chief executive officer of JP, Jilla Parishad. Any department, any public authority. You can go and ask for files to inspect. They will have to show under this act. Section 4 of the Act says that it is mandatory for each and every public authority to proactively disclose its information. If it is not asked, okay, people are not asking for that information, still that public authority will have to disclose proactively. People may not take or may take, but they will have to disclose. Each and every public authority. It is mandatory, compulsory. On what points the information should be disclosed, that is given in the Act. There are 17 points. You have verbatim in your laptop. You can refer to that. There are 17 points regarding the working of the public authority. The points include names of officers and their remunerations and salaries. Then working procedure, decision procedures, list of files and registers that are to be, this information is to be declared voluntarily. No demand is necessary, no application is necessary. Public authority will proactively do this. And if they don't do this, the Act says it is mandatory, you will have to do it. So this proactive disclosure provision is very important in view of citizens. Each and every public authority will publish these books and keep in its head office for inspection. Anybody can come and see that without any fee. Public authority can display this information on its website. The Act says, considering local population's language, medium or form, this proactive disclosure should reach to the people. Public authority will have to think how to display our material. Maybe on the boards in the village, maybe on the walls of the office, maybe in printed form, maybe in electronic form, maybe in audiovisual form. Form is not specified. But it is said that information should reach to the people. That is it. Then more and more information will flow from the mandatory disclosure under section 4.1. And it's a continuous process. Once the disclosure is made, our job is over. That's not the case. It should be updated continuously, say monthly, say weekly, say annually. It should be updated. Once it is declared, it should be updated frequently as and when required. There is no limit laid by the Act. Public authority will decide with which interval the information is to be updated. Why proactive disclosure? It will create culture of openness. There is no culture of openness right now. In public institutions also, in trusts also, in cooperative societies also, in NGOs also. There is no culture of openness. When a public authority is forced to have such proactive disclosure, it will have to think what is to be disclosed, how it is to be arranged. So it will start a thinking process towards openness. So that is there. Then the second line, what is to hide? छिपाने लायक क्या है? क्या छिपाना है? एनजीओ को क्या छिपाना है? पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को क्या छिपाना चाहती है? गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट क्या छिपाना चाहते हैं? लोकल बॉडी ग्राम पंचायत क्या छिपाना चाहती है? छिपाने लायक क्या है उसमें? What is to hide? This is the question to be asked before proactive disclosure to itself by public authority. कि ये information disclose क्यों नहीं करनी है? क्या है इसमें ऐसा इतना important जो मैं disclose नहीं करना चाहता? What is to hide? I ask this question at least 40 times in a day. Various phone calls from various parts of the country and state. Those are public information officers from various government departments and public authorities. They ask me, somebody has a nuisance value and he is asking for such and such information, what to do? I ask him, what is to hide? What is there to hide? क्यों नहीं देना चाहते आप?
But on the other hand, it will affect the working style, working of that particular government bodies. They keep on asking people participation become at mass level. And it will affect their system, the orthodox duties which they have to perform. And they will be more concentrated on giving information to the
There is answer to this also. I will come to that. So what is to act? Then e-governance. The Act says that public authority should have some website, and for giving the information management is necessary, and information management is easier through computerization. So this Act is forcing public authorities towards computerization ultimately, and it is happening. It will streamline record management because there is record management system laid by Britishers. It is age-old system, but it is not followed. And India's record management systems are not good. Old systems were good, they are not followed. One institute conducted a survey in India. How much is the record in India? If whole of the record of each department, central and state, all state government, if it is put together, one stack upon another stack, it will reach to the moon. So much record is there, but there is no record. One small joke I remember here. An officer who is very good, active, he comes to his office and sees that one room is locked. He asks his second in command, what is there in this room? Sir, there is a record. Old record, very important record. Okay. Since how many years? 25 years. When this the door was opened, sir, I don't know. I am in service since 20 years, but I never seen this door open. So that information, that record was not useful for 20 years. Okay. So that officer told second in command, please open the door and scrutinize the record. Whatever is important, keep it aside. Otherwise, destroy it. If it is not required in 20 years, it means that it is not so much of help, so much of use. So you do that. That second in command was in hurry. What to do? अभी destroy किया बाद में लगेगा तो क्या करे? So he searched for some solution to this, and he got the solution. What he did? He xeroxed all the material and then destroyed. This is the mentality. Not to destroy. Keep it. And so record increases. And there is no record. Very pity situation. So it will streamline record management. It is good. Number of applications under RTI will reduce. If there is powerful proactive disclosure, what is the need for the citizen to apply for a particular information? If that information is available on website or on the board or in printed format, free of charge, why a citizen will apply for information? So, if proactive disclosure is powerful and to the point, considering information needs of the citizens, then number of applications under Right to Information Act will reduce. So it is the responsibility of public authority what and how to disclose initially. If they want to curtail number of applications, they will have to disclose. ज़्यादा उनको दिखाना पड़ेगा, disclose करना. This is the answer of your question partly. It is in the hands of public authority. If they want less number of applications under RTI, they will have to disclose more and more information. It is in their hand.
Even ordinary person goes personal. They don't need the information, just for teasing or just to make them in pressure condition they apply. Sir, I don't whether they need or not, it's a secondary question.
If it is available in proactive disclosure, the officer will say, see this book.
No, but if they ask for a 20 years before information, what you just that joke you have shared, they're not asking for the current information. They ask, sir, what happened 20 years before for this particular land record.
Then this is another issue. I will come to that. I am just now saying this. It is in the hands of public authority to disclose more and more information so that number of applications under RTI will reduce. This is my point. Okay, I will come to your point. A step towards less paper office. I am not saying paperless office, because paperless office is a still it is not achievable now. But we can have less paper. If proactive disclosure is strong, I will give instance of my academy. We proactively disclosed our information on 10th October, 2 days before. 12th October is the implementation date of the Act. 2 days before we implemented the Act, we proactively disclosed our information. There is really very less number of applications in our institute because most of the information is available. You just go and see. You just go and see on the website. You just go in the head office and see the booklet. That's all. People first try that. And if the information which they want is not there, then and then only they apply. It is to be done by each and every public. Some important provisions. Public information officer is to be appointed for each public authority, and there is limit of 30 days to give response to any application under RTI by a citizen.
For the entire nation, I mean, it's not no differentiate in state to state.
No. These are act provisions of the Act applicable to all the states. State governments have made rules for appeal provisions and fees. But in the act this 30 days provision is there. So public information officer appointed by the public authority will have to respond within 30 days to the application. These 30 days are to be calculated as calendar days. No holidays, no working days, nothing is to be considered. Just 30 days. No confusion for calculation.
Fees is also same, sir.
No. Fees are prescribed by state government, and so there is some difference state by state. Then public authority can appoint assistant public information officer if needed for receipt of applications and appeals, and in that case 5 days extra are provided by the act. So in case of that, if application is submitted to the assistant public information officer by the citizen, then 5 days extra are to be allowed. That means 30 plus 5, 35. Not more than that. Before that, PIO should respond. That is legally binding. Then any senior officer of that public information officer is to be designated as appellate authority. First appellate authority. When a citizen can go in first appeal, first thing, if he is supplied with less information or wrong information or no reply. It happens in most of the government departments and even in public institutions, people don't reply. If some application is there, PIO will not reply. He will not say, yes, I am giving this information. He will not say, no, I am not giving this information. In that case, a citizen can go in appeal. If in 30 days there is no yes or no from PIO, then it is deemed disposal, deemed refusal of the application, and against that, citizen can go in appeal. If PIO doesn't respond. So it is binding provision, PIO will have to respond, otherwise a citizen can go. No fees for below poverty line applicants. Whatever fees prescribed by state government, appropriate government, below poverty line persons are exempted from application fee also, from cost of information also. What are those prescribed fees? Say we will take example of Maharashtra. Prescribed fees are that rupees 2 per page and rupees 50 per floppy or CD.
For every department?
Yeah. For every public authority or government.
Public authority.
Yeah. So below poverty line persons are exempted. They will not pay the fees. No need. Public authority will make the expenditure to supply the information. But apart from that, if there is any fee prescribed by public authority, then it will be paid by below poverty line persons also. Like fee for model, fee for sample. Okay. So fees prescribed by public authority are payable by below poverty line persons, but fees prescribed by the government, below poverty line persons are not subject to payment. Provision of deemed disposal, as I said, in case of no answer from PIO, what PIO will say? I haven't said no. I am giving first appeal. If citizen is not satisfied, he will go in second appeal. And in second appeal, if information commissioner finds that PIO has not given information, or PIO has avoided to give the information, or PIO has given wrong information, or PIO has destroyed the relevant record, then information commissioner can impose the penalty on PIO personally, plus an order to give that record free of cost.
Sir, I have a question. If any officer is not cooperating with the PIO, responsible PIO of this department, and I have requested some information. And in that case, who is responsible?
Yeah. There is provision of deemed PIO. Deemed PIO. The provision says that if, because there are so many officers, 10-15 officers in a public authority, one officer is designated as PIO. The information which is asked belongs to another officer. Then what PIO will do? PIO will request that officer to supply that information in writing. Okay. If that officer didn't supply the information, then who will be responsible? So there is provision of deemed PIO. If PIO has written to another person, not only officer, another person to assist him for discharging duties under RTI Act, then that person becomes deemed PIO and penalty provision applies to him.
In only or both?
Him.
The deemed PIO.
Deemed PIO.
So it's again a transfer of responsibility to
Transfer of, because PIO, and again there is provision of opportunity.
Why that particular officer is not being analyzed because he is not cooperating.
No, that officer is penalized. He is deemed PIO. That officer who is not responding, even though PIO has written him to supply some information, he has not given. So he is deemed PIO. So he will be punished. He will be punished. And there is provision of opportunity. Information Commissioner cannot inflict any penalty on PIO without giving him an opportunity of hearing. So in such cases, that PIO will tell that my intention is very clear. I want to give this information. I have asked for that information, but he is not supplying. What can I do? At that time, Information Commissioner will inflict penalty on that person as deemed PIO.
So one more question.
Please, please.
Sir, the PIOs are is a government post or how government is managing them? New recruitment?
No new recruitment. Actually, PIO is to be designated by the public authority. Appellate authority is to be designated by public authority. So, existing officer can be designated as PIO. If some public authority, say trust or company or cooperative society, wants to recruit somebody, they can do.
Government agencies have to be the government PIO.
Government can also recruit. Government can also recruit. But it is not mentioned in the Act. Act just says you appoint somebody, you designate somebody. Whether you appoint or not, that is your question. That doesn't come under the purview of the Act. That is to be decided by public authority.
So you said 30 days for the first.
Yeah.
What about the second appeal and the information?
For second appeal, it is restricted to 30 days again. Within 30 days, first appellate authority will have to decide the appeal. And if it is not decided, it is not responded, then second appeal is allowed.
That is the information.
Yeah. If appeal is not decided in 30 days, then a person can go in second appeal.
And for also valid for 30 days?
No, for the Information Commissioner there is no time limit because it is equivalent to High Court. No time limit. Third party clause is very important clause. Actually, we will have to go fast because time is less and provisions are important. I will just touch the provisions. If any information is with the public authority which is related to third party and that third party has given that information in confidence, and if such information is asked by the citizen, then PIO will issue a notice to that third party saying that this information is demanded. What should I do? That third party will come into the picture and will say, first thing it will say, give it, no problem, then there is no problem. If third party takes an objection for giving that information, then PIO will have to decide that objection, whether that objection is correct or not. whether that objection is consistent with public interest or not, because public interest overrides. If PIO decides that nothing doing, this information is to be given, it can be given after 10 days of hearing for third party. If PIO decides not to give that information, a person can go in appeal. If PIO decides to give that information, then third party is an aggrieved party. Within 10 days, it can go in appeal. So there is enough and fair chance for everybody. Provisions are there. So for the information related to third party, given by the third party in confidence, in case of demand for that information, public information officer will issue a notice to the third party asking for the objection. If it is objected, the objection will be decided by the PIO either way. If objection is decided negatively, that objection is denied and information is to be given, then third party will go in appeal in 10 days. Those are the, it's very complicated, I know, but let's see. Then information which cannot be denied to the parliament or the state legislature cannot be denied to any person, because which information is available to representatives of the citizens, it should be given to the citizens also. So this is actually litmus test. Which information is to be given and which is not. This is litmus test. If that information can be denied to parliament also, if asked, then it can be denied. Otherwise,
This statement in itself, it's a comprehensive one.
yeah. The act is very good actually. Drafting is very good. Administration of the act and second appeal vested with information commission. Each state has posts of 10 information commissioners. Even at central level, there are 10 information commissioners. Some posts are still vacant. Second appeal lies with information commission. And he is given monitoring and reporting and supervisory powers for the implementation of this. He will place his report annually in the state legislature or in the parliament and make suggestions regarding the implementation of the act. He is very high ranked person. He is equivalent to election commissioner. So central chief information commissioner is equivalent to central election commissioner, and state information commissioner is equivalent to state election commissioner, and he is fourth in protocol ranking. Fourth in the state, governor, CM, Chief Justice, and then information. He is above Chief Secretary also. He is very senior rank person. RT Act 2005 overrides official secretary. It is said that this is also Central Act. So it is said that for the application under this Act, the provisions of Official Secrets Act will not be applicable. For other applications under other acts, Official Secrets Act provisions may be applicable, but for this Act, it is not applicable. Shall I comment on this? I will not comment on this. Exemption clause. It is given in section 8. Issues regarding national security, information regarding national security and sovereignty, there is no binding of giving the information. Then regarding trade secrets and intellectual property rights and copyrights, that information cannot be demanded under this Act. It is not binding to give this information. If any public authority wants to keep its information secret, The information can be registered under as trade secret or IPR or copyright, and then that information can be denied under this act. Okay, so it is in the hands of public authority, which information they want to not they don't want to disclose. Then there is a clause: if any information is of a nature that privacy of a citizen is disturbed, then that information can be denied, because our constitution says that each and every citizen can live his private life. But if there is public interest, then PIO will decide public interest supreme. It overrides everything. And if any privacy is disturbed or that public interest, that information can be given. Then foreign relation information or information given by foreign countries, it cannot be demanded under this act. Then an information which will prove as danger to one's life and physical safety, if it is proved, PIO can deny that, because disclosing of this information will endanger human life. Then information of which disclosure will impair the investigation procedure of any offence, then that information can be denied. But PIO will have to prove that this information, disclosure of this information will impair the investigation. Cabinet papers are exempted.
So what do you mean by cabinet papers?
Notes prepared by secretaries to keep before cabinet meetings.
But if information is being provided to Parliament, then why we are denying?
This is specifically exempted in the Act. This is exemption clause.
This is before cabinet meets.
Before cabinet. But after cabinet meet, that proceeding of the cabinet can be demanded. But just notes to put up before the cabinet meeting, those are exempted. Then public interest versus protected interest. Public interest supreme. There should be well-reasoned order by the PIO, because burden of proof under section 19(5) is on PIO to prove why he has denied some information to the citizen. He will have to prove. He will have to say. The citizen is in no need to say why the information is denied. Citizen will not say this reason is given. That is not his duty. PIO will say why he has denied the information. Then opportunity is there, reasons. Then calculation of fees levy is to be communicated to the citizen. On what basis fees are calculated, what is cost of information and how it is calculated. Then appeal details. If you are aggrieved by my decision, you can go into appeal. And this is the appellate authority, this is the address, this is the name. Appeal details should be there. Particulars of appellate authority. It is mandatory for the PIO to give all this information in his communication to the citizen, who is information seeker.
It is also proactive approach.
Yeah, that's true. No comments. Need for suo motu publication, proactive disclosure. Understanding the nature of applications and information needs of people. What are the information needs from a particular public authority? That particular public authority will have to project what are the information needs, and that information is to be disclosed proactively. What is not needed by the people, no need to disclose. This is proactive. Record management issues that we have seen, changing the work culture, timely reporting of disposal of RTI cases. Now presentation is over. I have just इतने कम समय में मैंने कभी कदम नहीं किया है, क्या करें? Now we have no time, but still I will sit for 10 minutes. If any questions, you can ask. But I will suggest one thing. This is just a starting point. Intricacies. I have not touched any intricacy. We will discuss some case studies if possible, and even some detailed question answer session we can have at that time. You can prepare yourself for that.
Sir, I asked this question about this most confidential department of the government, like space. And
Yeah, there is Schedule 2 attached to this act, in which list of organizations which are exempted from this act. Those are intelligence and security organizations like border security force, etc. 18 organizations are there. Even state government can exclude some military organizations by notification. That provision is there. But the act says if public interest is there, then even these organizations will have to answer queries under this act. That provision is there.
What exactly act says about police state police?
Nothing. Public authority.
Exempt.
No exemption. That exemption is investigation, regarding investigation. Yes. No exemption to police.
So when we get this information,
That is not under the purview of this act. This
it will
act
be
says,
facilitated by the same.
this act says and prescribes procedure for getting the information. How that information is to be used by the citizen, act keeps mum. Even act says no public authority can ask the citizen why you are asking this information. No reason can be asked. Citizen will decide what to do about it. There is application format in Maharashtra. Some states have devised application formats, but in central statute there is no application form to describe. Just on a plain piece of paper, you can apply for it.
You need a stamp paper for it, or there's nothing.
There is a provision in the rules for central and even for Maharashtra state 10 rupees application fee. Maharashtra rules allows 10 rupees court fee stamp. Otherwise, you can go to the office of the public authority, deposit 10 rupees, do that. The act doesn't lay down any fees or any format for application. It is in the rules and it varies state.